kitchen. It is me. My name is Beverly Lucas, and I am the host of For the Love of Cooking. What do we do on this show? I try to show you how to put together a fabulous meal from scratch that is better than the restaurant. Always better than the restaurant. What are we gonna make today, Beverly? I'm so glad you asked. Today we are gonna make something right out of my own cookbook, For the Love of Cooking. We are making a shrimp fried rice. And I am going to follow the directions and show you how, just with the recipe, how you can make this meal and you will not want to go back to the Chinese restaurant because you can make it at home. So let's get started. Let's start with our ingredients. Okay, so our ingredients that we need for this dish are green onions. We have some garlic. Fresh garlic that is chopped up. I always use fresh garlic. We have some onions. I have the white onions from the green. I have the white part from the green onions and also some red onions. We have some carrots, broccoli, and mushrooms because this is more of a vegetable shrimp fried rice. I have some tomatoes that we're going to use for the garnish. And then you have to have these ingredients. We have some oyster sauce. Soy sauce, you have to have soy sauce. And of course, for fried rice, you have to have the eggs and some oil. The other star of the show is the rice. Now, this rice was purchased at the Chinese restaurant. I bought it on yesterday because when you make fried rice, you want to have the rice to be left over from the next day because it fries up a little bit crispier. So I went to the Chinese place and I get the rice. And then we have to look at our seasonings. What do we need? We have a little bit of ginger. We have one of my favorite when I cook Asian food, and this is the Chinese 5-spice blend. I love it. And if you could smell it, you would know, it's so good. This is gonna be good. And we have our sesame oil. And sesame oil is very pungent. So right now I only have a little bit left in this bottle, but this is all that I need. And the fragrance gives it another layer of flavor in Asian cooking. So here I have my wok on. I have it on medium. And I think it's about ready. So I have here about a 1/3 cup of canola oil, and I'm going to put the oil in there and we're gonna let that heat up. It's not gonna take very long because the wok is hot. Also, while we're doing that, I'm going to blanch our broccoli. So what is blanching? Blanching is just when you cook it till it just has just a bite. And what blanching does is it preserves the vitamins in a vegetable, and it also gives it a vibrant color. So I'm going to turn this on. It's just a little bit, maybe a 1/2 cup of water. And to that water, I'm going to add 1 chicken bouillon cube. And we're just gonna blanch the broccoli. So we're gonna put this over here, get that ready. And then the other step about blanching is once you take it off the heat, you have to put it into an ice bath, and then that stops the cooking. So I have my ice bath set aside, and we're going to do that. So let's get this started. You can see it smoking just a little bit. That's exactly what we want. And we are gonna start with our vegetables. Have my spoon here. Smells good already,
Yeah,
right?
Yes, it does.
My carrots. And my onions. And we're gonna set these aside. And we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper, which I have right here. And salt helps bring out the taste of the vegetables. A little bit of pepper. And we're gonna let that just go. So I'm right-handed, so I always have to have the handle over to the left. And while that's flying all over the place, I'm gonna take another spoon. We have our water that's almost ready for our broccoli. I'm gonna smash that bouillon cube. Put that right there. And I'm gonna get the top. You know about the tops of the pans. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this broccoli florets that I've cut up, and I'm just going to put it in here. And we're gonna let that go. I have a guest with me today. Actually, I have one of my friends. Her name is Simone, is with me.
Oh, hello.
Who's had my cooking before.
Hello.
Simone, thank you for joining me on today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Ooh, that smells so good.
Yes.
Okay, so let me get the rice ready. And see, this meal, it doesn't even take a long time. And I'm gonna get ready to take this out and plate it. Well, not plate it, I said plate it, but to put it on a plate. Let me just say that. When it's done. Why is all the vegetables popping out of the wok? And you know, it doesn't take mushrooms long to cook. And the thing about mushrooms is, you know, people say they don't like mushrooms, but mushrooms take on the taste of anything that you cook it with. Mm-hmm. So if you cook it with tomatoes, it takes on the tomatoes. If you cook it with garlic, it takes on the garlic. So it really doesn't have like a distinct taste to it, but it absorbs the flavors of what you cook it with.
So Beverly, how long do you blanch your vegetables?
That's a good question. Only for about 5 minutes, depending on the size of the vegetable.
Okay.
So with these, what I do is I'm gonna bring it over to the sink, and because I want it to have the flavor of the bouillon, I'm just gonna shake it up a little bit. And I'm gonna put it back on, and we're gonna give it 2 more minutes. And sometimes when I'm cooking, Simone, you know, I get distracted.
Yeah.
So I use my timer like all the time. So I have that for 2 minutes, and that's set. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're going to take our vegetables out. Like that, we're gonna put them to the side. Now what I'm gonna do is something a little bit different. Some people, when they do their eggs, they cook them along with the vegetables. Let me turn this off for a minute. But what I like to do is I like to cook the eggs separately.
Wow.
So, there's 1. There's 2. Wash my hands. It's one thing about cooking, you just have to wash your hands over and over and over again, because you want to make, first of all, you want to make sure your hands are clean, but you don't want to have any type of contamination. I'm going to put a little salt and pepper. I'm going to rinse my hands off again. And then I'm just going to take these sticks and I'm going to mix up the egg. And I know that the pan is hot, and so that's why I've put it aside to let it cool off a little bit. This broccoli, we're going to turn off. I don't need to add any more oil in this pan. I'm going to get my rubber spatula, and we're going to turn this back on and cook the eggs. Now here the broccoli is. And I have my ice right here. Let me see if I can show you. And there was my 2 minutes. Perfect. And I'm putting them in a strainer. Just like that. Pull them off. We're gonna turn this off. And we're gonna continue with our eggs. And you know, scrambling eggs does not take a long time. Let's see. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually do our fried rice. And then we're gonna mix everything together. So the way that I've learned to do this is to do everything separately instead of trying to do it all in the wok. I've seen it done that way, but I like to do it this way because I like to taste everything as I move along. So these eggs are done. So the eggs are done, so we're just gonna put them right here. Shrimp. But I need to have the oven on, the stove on. And while that warms up, we're just gonna season it a little bit with a little salt, a little pepper. And this is where we're gonna use also our Chinese 5-spice. This is another seasoning that is very, very strong. So you want to make sure that you don't use a lot, but it makes everything just delicious. And then our ginger. Gonna put that on there. And we're gonna let that cook. And now we're gonna get to back to our broccoli, which is ready. So again, I blanched the broccoli. I cooked it in some bouillon for about 5 minutes. And you can see how beautifully green it is. And it's beautiful and it has a bite to it. Go ahead and taste that.
Delicious.
See, it doesn't need any salt or anything because of the bouillon.
Oh, damn. Okay. Here.
All right, come on, shrimp. Cook for me, cook for me, cook for me. So my top, we're gonna just wash that off. So one thing about cooking that I do is I clean as I go. I mean, I just clean as I go. Because at the end of the day, what you don't want is a whole bunch of things that you have to put away. So as you see me putting things away, that's just what I do. So those I'll just put to the side and I'll put them back in the cabinet. Okay, the shrimp is coming along. And next what we're gonna do is we are going to fry the rice because that's what this is all about. It's all about the fried rice. So the ginger we don't need anymore. And as this gets started, we're gonna add the garlic. Sometimes I add the garlic to the vegetables and then sometimes I add the garlic to the shrimp. So this time I'm going to add the garlic to the shrimp. Either way, it's still gonna give you beautiful layers of flavor because once you put the garlic in the pan, then the whole party gets started. And I'm just, the egg mixture, I'm just scraping that up. Okay, see how everything's clean? That's how you do it. And if you do it that way, then you won't regret trying something and then saying, oh, but at the end I had this whole, mess. And shrimp really does not take long to cook. This is taking a little longer because I didn't have the stove on, but it really takes between 3 to 5 minutes. Of course, it depends on the size of the shrimp. The smaller the shrimp, the less time that it takes. I've worked with or cooked with shrimp. I've cooked with shrimp that look like a lobster tail, from the little itsy bitsy shrimp. And there are over 100 different types of shrimp. And the shrimp tastes different depending on the water that the shrimp comes from. So if you have shrimp here in the United States and you go to Africa or you go to Egypt, the shrimp tastes different because the water is different. So keep that in mind. So sometimes when you go in the store, you see Louisiana shrimp. It tastes different than Maryland shrimp. So, and I love Louisiana shrimp because that really gives you that southern, but I don't think this is Louisiana shrimp. You're not gonna ask me no questions?
I'm waiting for the shrimp to cook so we can eat. So do you know where that shrimp comes from? No?
You know what? My favorite store is Wegmans. You know my favorite store is Wegmans. So yeah, I got it from Wegmans. And
so once you cook the shrimp, then you're gonna add the rice, or you're gonna add your veggies?
No, I'm gonna cook the shrimp and I'm gonna take the shrimp out.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cook the rice and then I'm gonna put everything together.
Okay.
You can do it all, but for me, some things are overcooked, some things are undercooked when you do it all together. So this is how I operate.
Okay.
So what I'm doing now is I'm turning the shrimp over to the other side because I don't want to overcook the shrimp. Overcooking the shrimp causes it to be rubbery, and if it's really overcooked, it's soggy.
Okay.
And nobody wants soggy shrimp. And shrimp costs too much to overcook.
Yeah.
Truth be told. But, well, all the seafood is, the prices are going up. And so when I cook, I want to make sure that I'm cooking it the best way I can. People ask me all the time, what do you spend your money on? I spend my money on food. That's what I do. I spend my money on food. Not dresses, not shoes, I spend my money on food. And I dream food. I mean, I literally dream food. And there have been days where I wake up in the morning and I've dreamt about something. And then I think, oh my gosh, I have all the ingredients for what I dreamt about. And I will get up and come right downstairs and cook whatever it is that I dreamed about. I've had that happen like several times till it's become not a pattern, but it happens occasionally.
Do you have another alternative if someone is not, they can't eat shrimp? What's a good alternative?
Well, if they can't eat seafood at all, so like my daughter is allergic to seafood, but she wanted to try some gumbo, so I made a sausage and chicken gumbo.
Oh, wow.
So it had all the same ingredients, except that the meat was just sausage and chicken.
Okay.
I made that a couple of weeks ago. That's one of my videos on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is For the Love of Cooking Fridays. It is sausage and chicken gumbo. It was delicious. She loved it. We don't have any leftovers. We don't have any leftovers. Okay, so my shrimp, I believe, is done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my garlic in here. And we're just gonna let that cook just until we can smell it. Let me know when you can smell it. Because one thing that you never want to do is you never want to burn garlic. If you burn garlic in your meal, the whole meal is ruined. Because the burnt taste of garlic is more pungent than any other ingredients that I've mentioned to you, and it will ruin the whole meal.
Yeah, I can smell it.
You can smell it?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is on the same plate that we have the vegetables and the eggs, we're just gonna pile the shrimp on there.
Ooh, look at that. That looks sweet. Oh my Lord.
smells so good.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we get all that garlic out. Actually, I need that spatula. Make sure we get all this out. There we go. Okay, now one more time, we are going to use our sesame seed oil. Just a little bit, just a capful, which is equal to 1 teaspoon. And I'm going to add some butter. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of butter. If you buy butter, it always has the measurements right on there. So this is 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna put it in there. Let that melt, which should not take very long. We add butter for the flavor. The other thing about sesame seed oil is it doesn't burn at a high temperature. There's some oils that you use for certain things because of the temperature that it can take, and it doesn't compromise the taste. So this is a quart of fried rice, and I'm gonna use about half of it.
Oh, wow.
So that it all gets fried. And again, it's a day old because it fries better. Oh, this looks good. This looks good, babe.
Smells
looks good. To that, I'm gonna add a half a cup of soy sauce. Just all around. And it's really, I say a half a cup, but it's really to taste. So you can taste it to see if it has enough. And this is 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce.
Wow. Why the oyster sauce?
Because of the flavor that it gives.
Okay.
You'll be able to taste the difference.
Okay.
Okay, I think I can put some more rice in here. Smells so good. And again, I'm smashing it up against the sides. Now in the Chinese restaurant, they have very, very high heat, which is why it cooks so fast. Like you can put in an order and it's ready in 10 minutes. It's because of the heat that they use. And because of the way that the wok is shaped, it retains the heat. So when you have the real high heat, the whole pan just heats up. So I'm not using that high heat. I'm being more controlled in this. Okay. So we have all our ingredients ready to place in there. Trying to think, did I remember everything? Let me refer back to my own cookbook. Oh, do you know how I feel referring back to my own cookbook of what I wrote? Yep, it says, and fry until the rice begins to crisp. And that's what we'll do.
That's what we'll do.
All right, so, and again, that's why it's important to have rice that is not fresh, that it's a day old. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. So do you like Chinese food?
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely. I love Chinese food.
Do you think you'll try to make this?
I sure will.
Okay. you can call me.
Okay. I definitely will refer to the cookbook. Differently than how I do it.
Yeah.
I do it differently. So this is a very great way to do new things.
Absolutely. One night, this was like the best night because I had two different friends. One was messaging me on Facebook. The other was texting me. They were making the same dish out of the cookbook.
Oh, wow.
Do you know how happy that made me?
Yeah.
I was just like, and I didn't even tell the other one that the other one was, but they were both asking me questions, and I was like, Beverly, how cool is this?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Wonderful.
So it's not just a book of recipes that, you know, that's just a recipe for the sake of just having things down on paper. It really is a step-by-step in how you can create this meal at home. And once you taste it, you'll see it's better than the restaurant. All right, let's, this is my favorite kitchen tool. I keep going back to it, but let me tell you, I love it. My spatula.
Spatula. We'll give her a name, Beverly Spatula.
Yeah. Let me move this. I need a different type of spatula. I need this type of spatula now. To move this around. See, I took it off the heat. And this is just the way it's supposed to be on the bottom. Now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. Let me put it back on the heat. Turn it down. So I'm putting the shrimp, the mushrooms, the eggs, the broccoli.
Nice.
I know. We're gonna fold it all in. This can feed 4. This is like for a serving of 4. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that off because everything is cooked. And continue just to fold it in. Ooh, child.
I cannot wait.
That's what my daughter would say. Ooh, child, this is gonna be good. So let me get a platter out. I need a big platter. I have all types of platters, let me tell you. Oh no, we need those. And, oh, it's heavy too.
Oh, it's delicious and colorful. Very appealing.
Look at that. Now, come on now. Come
That
on.
is delicious.
Really?
Yes.
Wait till you taste it though, Simone. And the rice, the way it's sticking to the wok, that's just what it's supposed to do. Just like that.
Wow.
How beautiful is that? And we're not even done yet. You know, I'm all about presentation. Presentation is my middle name. So we're going to take those tomatoes. That we put aside. And then we have our green onions that we're just gonna sprinkle around. Then we have our chopsticks. We're gonna put them just like that. And then we have our garnish.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Wait, what is my name? My name is Beverly Lucas. I am the host of For the Love of Cooking. Why couldn't you just see the love that I just put into this? I mean, look at that. I mean, come on, you have to be in love to cook like that. So I am going to get a plate and we are going to let you go ahead and cook it. Taste it. Let's see. Wait a minute, I gotta taste it before you.
Okay.
I gotta taste it before you. Yes. Okay, here I go. What should I taste first? I'm gonna go with the broccoli.
Broccoli is delicious.
Okay, broccoli and some mushrooms. Delicious. It's delicious. No, gotta taste the piece of shrimp. That tells it all. Perfecto. If I don't know anything else, I know how to cook. I know a lot of things, but I definitely know how to cook.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining me. I've enjoyed having you here to share this time in my kitchen, but I have to let my guests taste so that you will see that it's really not just me. It is really, 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 really good. And I didn't even taste it along the way because sometimes, most dishes I have to taste along the way while I'm cooking, but there are just some things that I cook that I can just sense what it's gonna taste like. So go ahead, Simone, and
Ooh. Taste this. This is good. Delicious.
better than the restaurant.
It is very much so.
All right. Thank you so much for watching this cooking demonstration. If you enjoyed this recipe, there are so many more recipes that you can follow that is better than the restaurant. How can you do that? You can order a copy of my cookbook. Oh my gosh, I love my own cookbook and you will too. You can order it from fortheloveofcooking.biz. If you order a copy, I will personally sign it and send it off to you. Thank you so much for being with me today. I can't wait to see you for the next episode of For the Love of Cooking.